Okay, today we're very lucky. We have Jim Ricker, the the author of the book I teach from. If you're one of my students, Glenna Shanahan out of Madison told me about his book right before I was ready to order a different series, and I'm forever grateful to her and forever grateful to Jim for putting this together. I've been very happy with the decision. I love the book. As you students have known, I've told you that if I were to write a book, it would be exactly what Jim does, because that's what I play. And so it's very rare to find a book that you can have be, this is what I do. So it's really been great. I don't even, I can just talk and I know it's the same thing that he teaches. So it's been great for me as a teacher to have these books available. So his books, you sell them individually on Amazon, is that right, Jim?
That's right.
If anyone needs to pick them up. And he's got a full series. The one I teach from is the Beyond Beginning Bridge, using 2/1, and then I do some other tidbits for some of his other books. But anyway, Jim is going to take it away. Jim, go ahead.
All right, so today's lesson, and I'm going to do a share now. Make sure
we already are on share.
Yeah, we have it.
We have you.
I haven't shared yet.
Well, we see it. We see the Finder 1, so.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, it says, we're viewing your screen, it says.
Yeah, we're viewing your screen, so you're good to go.
All right. So, and you only see the East cards right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So the bottom line is, let's talk about first, and it actually is fairly timely. When your opponent opens one no trump, what does double mean to you? And this is interesting.
It's the same bid.
Okay.
I have that bid.
So in this particular case, if you're south, okay, you have what? 6, 13, 17 points. And so you would have, in other words, I would have opened one no trump if you hadn't opened one no trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we hit double, then what we're saying is that we would have bid no trump also. And it's basically a compelling action to tell partner, I want you to look at your hand and decide, should we leave the double end or not? You're asking partner to participate and saying, if I have 4 or more points, then it's probably our hand. And we want to make sure and leave that double end. If you don't have 4 or more points, then we want to change the suit. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do a real quick change. And this is the lesson today. This is called the Great Escape. And I'm going to change your screen you're looking at. So I'm going to switch. Oh, it's hidden. Let's put it over here. So I'm going to switch to south. Okay. So now your partner opens one no trump, and your right-hand opponent doubled, and you have 2 points. And if you do, that's great. But do any of y'all think there's anything that you can do in south? You can't do trash Stamen because you just have 2 hearts.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, you just have 2 diamonds. If he were to say 2 diamonds, I don't have it. So you don't have anything that look logical to do. And there's a really nifty little bid that we don't teach often, but it's so nifty that it's great. And that is the redouble. Okay. All right. So before I go any further, I want to say, and I've tried to tell my students this over time, redouble should never be used as a penalty double. It should be used as a convention in almost all situations. If we can make contracts that are doubled, we don't need to redouble. Okay. It's plenty of points to make doubled contracts. We don't need to do that. So what redouble means is that I have a 5-card minor.
Okay.
And it forces partner to bid 2 clubs. It's what we call a relay to 2 clubs. Okay. And if I have clubs, I'll pass his 2 clubs. And if it's diamonds, I'll correct to diamonds.
It's so, like a transfer, yeah.
It is very, very similar. But guess what? It's at the 2 level. And so there's no other way that you can end up in 2 clubs or 2 diamonds over one no trump. No other way, because obviously any other system like that would be a transfer, substitute, whatnot. And so redouble, I did that to the wrong person, by the way.
I was gonna say, what?
Well, it could happen.
It
But
could
yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 clubs, and so pass, pass, pass. And now we're playing in 2 clubs, which is a much safer contract because partner has to have at least 2 clubs to begin with. And here's
Right.
the other part of it too. You only have to have a 5-card club suit to do this. Because now instead of dealing at the 3 level with a transfer, we're dealing at the 2 level. And so we have at least a 7-card fit. And so we give ourselves an opportunity to take advantage and pull partner out of a dangerous contract. So,
So if your long suit was spades, you'd still do that redouble and then you'd correct to
Nope.
spades, right?
no, if
Nope.
long suit was spades, we just say 2 diamonds and 2 hearts and transfer to 2 spades,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's no
Okay.
other way to end up in 2 of a minor, right? We can transfer
Right.
to the majors pretty easily still.
So this is just this is just on for minors then, right?
This is just for minors. We can
Okay.
still, most people play systems on over a double. Okay, so if I said 2 hearts or 2 diamonds, that would still be a transfer to the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Mhm.
redouble is basically a relay to the minors. And the reason why we call it a relay instead of a transfer is that when partner bids 2 clubs, he still doesn't know if that's where we're going to end up. Okay, it could end up in diamonds or it could end up, I could pass the clubs. So whatever I say at this point, and it's a real nice, let's put it this way, if you're in this situation and you use this tool, this mechanism, you'll probably get a top board. Because very few people will remember or know that. And yet this is as simple as it gets. So you have to be sure that you always sit down and tell partner that redouble never means way, whereas double means no way and redouble means yes way. It's not about that. It's basically a convention. It's never for penalty. And so redouble says, partner, you must bid 2 clubs. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the hands. Now the south end is going to, no, that's not true. The south end is going to stay where it is. And so I will, I'm on the wrong screen. Well, teaching
I love it. Because you're in trouble here, guys. You see that? They've got more points than you do.
So West has 6 points and East has 17 points. They have 23 points.
Mhm.
We have 17 points. We are not going to do well in a no trump contract. Now we do have a 7-card fit, an 8-card fit in clubs. Okay, we don't have hardly any honors, but still that gives us 2 club tricks that we would not have gotten probably any other way.
Mhm.
Like we can take spade tricks if they don't trump them, and they're going to take advantage of the hearts pretty well, but we don't have 2, we only have 2. And so probably this the last thing I want to discuss with you is I'm going to switch screens. Okay, I'm going to switch screens for a second. Actually, I'm going to move this over here. So this is my master screen. And so the last thing I want to do with you is to show you something about a tool that I use directing, and I use it in play too. So I want to know what this makes. Are any of you familiar with double dummy?
Yeah. Mark taught us.
Okay, because that's what I do after every hand. I turn on double dummy, and we're going to go down 1 in 2 clubs. You all, and so if anybody isn't familiar with double dummy, speak up now.
I don't know double dummy.
Perfect. So Janice, do you see these red
I don't know it either.
Perfect. We're going to go over it then. See these red ones on the these cards?
Yes.
That means no matter what cards you lead, we're going to end up going down 1. Okay. I'm going to go back and undo. First of all, I'm going to take off double dummy. Now I'm going to undo it, and we're going to go back and leave it in 1 no trump doubled. And so I'm just going to pass it out because West should pass because they've got 6 points. So I'm going to turn double dummy back on. So now it's down 2 doubled. So instead of a 50-point negative score, we end up with minus 300.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, that's what that means. I didn't understand that either.
Yeah,
Okay?
so if there's different numbers in there, like if it was a different card lead, it might be -1. You know, if it was equal, it would be that it should make, depending on what card. So you can do that in the middle of a hand even. You can be like, oh, that's where I went astray. You know,
You can't do that in the middle of a hand. You have to finish. This is only available after you've finished a hand, and it's in
right. No, I mean, when you're going back to it. So you can go to the fifth card played.
No,
You
no.
see
See, in this particular case, if I was west on lead, I mean east on lead, I'd lead the king of diamonds, right?
Right.
And now it tells me, well, it doesn't matter which card, one of these cards I played. Same thing here. And it should have told me that if I played the ace, it matters, but it doesn't. And look, okay, here you go. So
Yeah, that's what
if
I'm
I
saying.
if I came up and played a heart or a club right now,
Mm-hmm.
it says I would go down 5.
Right. Right.
Okay. So it says I should play my spades right now. And so that's it tells you. And so what I use this 2 ways. When I'm directing and the round finishes and somebody hasn't finished a hand, I will take the hand and forward it to the last played card and then turn on double dummy, and I can quickly tell what the result would have been, so I can actually assign that rather than just leaving it as average. I don't know if you've seen that much, but so it'll tell you. The second thing is that I use it personally when I mess up a hand. I will go, after I've played it, first thing I do is I go over and say, should I have made that? And I'll turn it on immediately, and it says whether or not, if the opening player has all green, because it will show green equals to show it would make. We can probably throw another hand up here if you want me to show you something else. I can probably grab a different hand to show you something else. See if I can grab a hand here. Okay. North deals. I'm gonna bid it real quickly, okay? I'm gonna bid it. Y'all can ask me questions as I bid it. Let's see. North has 5, 6, 7, 14 points. I'm gonna bid a diamond. And East only has 6 points and passes. South has plenty of points to bid. They have 11 points. So they're gonna bid. They're gonna bid a heart.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
And so
Let's
West.
see where this one's going.
I'm gonna with non-vulnerable. I have 9 points. I'd like to bid 2 clubs, but I'm non-vulnerable. What do you guys want? Do you want me to bid 2 clubs or not? Would you bid 2 clubs with 9 points?
I would, but I want you not.
I'd go to the hearts.
Oh,
No. If you're west,
I'm not West.
if you're west, do you?
Oh,
go
I'm
for
sorry.
club?
Sure, 1 club. I'm sorry, 2 clubs.
All right, that's not what our partner would expect off a 2 club bid, but I'm fine with that. Okay, so if we do 2 clubs, now I don't think you all use support doubles, do you? Anybody here use support doubles?
If I remember them.
Okay.
Well, if your partner's
doubles,
playing them too, it doesn't do any good if you remember them or not. Your partner's not playing.
Support double says if I double an interfering bid like that, support double says
Right.
I have 3 card support. Because I don't know if you have 5 cards or 4 cards.
That's a different lesson.
That is a different lesson. And so East would pass still, more than likely, and then South would come in and say, well, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, I've got enough for 3 hearts, and North would probably go to 4 hearts. Okay, and so now we're going to pass it out, and we're going to turn on double dummy. So now instead of red numbers, it says there's green numbers. Green says if I play any of these cards, hearts, spades, or diamonds, they're going to make 2 over tricks. If I lead a club, they're only going to make 1 over trick. So that's how double dummy works. Now let's see if we can find ourselves a situation where we actually do better than that. Okay, so I want to see if I can create something different where all of a sudden I'm trying to see if I can make South suddenly have a turn of fate. Let's see, yes. So you see now that in the South, if I play the ace of spades, I'll only make my contract. And if I play any other spade, I'll actually make an overtrick. So let's go ahead and make a bad play. Okay, and so now I'm down to where I can only make my contract. So if I make any other mistakes, and so watch this. What happens? Didn't give me my, was going to say, it should have told me. So now,
Yeah, now it's going to be down one.
yeah, why didn't it tell me when yeah, right. Now if you look at the north, if I play the ace, I'm going to go down one. And so
But of course,
after
we
you
do
finish
we do
hand-
a finesse, of course, right? Everybody?
right. But the
Yeah.
point being is that when you've had a hand that says, I swear I think I should have made that, you can go back and run through double dummy and see when, if you should have made it from the beginning, and if you should have, when did things change? And so it's a wonderful tool.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. So Jim, a couple things. I would think the redouble and the two clubs would both be alertable. Would that be right? Because they have a meaning.
Yes, the redouble and the redouble is alertable, and the two clubs would be, alertable, and the two clubs would say required to bid two clubs.
Right. And then what is this called? Is this have a
it's called-
name or
It's actually called an escape.
escape? Okay.
An escape.
You know, Jim, I learned another thing that was called an escape, and it was really similar to this, but it was like the opponents started one no trump, and then it went pass, pass, and then my partner doubled.
Okay, but that's actually called balancing. And
That's
the fourth-
balancing.
Yeah, in the fourth seat, we're always balancing. We don't want to do that. But double,
I think the escape part was that I could bid redouble. I could say redouble if I just had any kind of weak
right.
two suited hand.
So you're right. Let's don't call it one no trump, but let's say one spade pass pass double.
Yeah.
Okay, redouble does say we refer to it as an SOS.
Yeah.
So it is very similar. Redouble says save me, please.
Okay.
Pick your best suit. And so
Okay, so
yeah.
all right, so good. So we've got. I really like this. So basically, we have a way to get to any 5-card or longer suit at the 2 level when we don't have the points. So that's really great. All right.
So
Thanks,
I will
Jim.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes,
So this is only after one no trump we were talking about. So and this is Landy.
No.
This
Well,
is-
this could be Landy. Doubles,
Okay,
as long as double means penalty.
Okay, I got it.
But even if partner doesn't mean penalty, if you double, partner has the option. This is something that's been discussed in the pro circuits a lot. A lot of pros have their partner double for a reason, not penalty, and then partner chooses to pass.
I get it. Okay,
They refer to it as a penalty pass.
okay.
Partner wanted it as takeout, but I passed because I wanted to, so that's also possible. Okay, guys, well, it's nice to see all of you.
Very nice to see you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
the
Jim.
weather is beautiful. I wish you were here.